Hi friends, and welcome back to Abridged by Alpal. Today I wanted to show off some of my special editions. I don't typically buy a ton of books. I mostly read on my Kobo or listen to audiobooks on my phone, but I'm also a material girl, and when a special edition comes out that's really pretty, what am I gonna do? Like really, what am I gonna do? Okay. Let me show you my first set of books. This one I'm actually a little bit peeved about, and let me tell you why. I ordered this right away. I heard about it, pre-ordered it, was so excited to get it. Went to Dragonsteel Nexus, he announces another new special edition, and I will be buying it. I will be buying it because I love this series so much. This is the deluxe edition of Red Rising. I am so obsessed with this art. I went and I followed the artist on Instagram. I do not remember their name. I should probably do artist credits, and I will add that onto the screen when I'm editing this. So the box itself, very cool, but my favorite detail of this edition is that when you have it open like this, you can see his progression from red into gold, which I think is a really cool detail to have included. Now, this isn't just a special edition because it's the deluxe version of it. When I went to Dragonsteel Nexus, I was able to get a signing with Pierce Brown. Boom! Signed by PB himself. He did spell my name wrong, but it's not his fault. I didn't realize that the lady who was writing the names down on the sticky notes had gotten it wrong, so that will just be kind of like my little funny thing for the rest of my life, because I will probably have this edition for the rest of my life. And we're gonna keep that good time rolling, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, Allie, that's just a paperback. Why is that a special edition? Once again, signed by PB himself. They told us that you could only get 2 things signed, so I brought my 2 books. But you're also allowed to have a +1, so I had my friend come along, and I was like, hey, like, just so you know, I have my books, I want to get them signed. And she was like, yeah, that's totally fine, I just want to meet him. But she had bought some fan art earlier that day, and we'd actually put it inside of the book so that it wouldn't get bent. And I forgot about that, and so when he went to go sign this one, the fan art was in it, and it fell out, and he said, hey, take that out of the envelope and I'll sign it for you. So he signed that for my friend. I was super excited for her. But he also went and found his story and signed that page as well. The one question I asked him when I got to meet him was if he picked the story, if he was assigned the story. And he said that he was reached out to and then said, if I don't get to write Biggs' story, I'm not going to do it at all. I believe that's because he likes to cause us emotional damage. He said it was because Biggs' mustache inspired him so much as a kid. So, you know, we can let history decide that. Usually what I do is I will read a book, either the ebook or the audiobook, and if I really enjoy it, I will go and buy a physical copy so that if I have friends who want to read it, they can use mine. They don't have to wait for the library or whatever. This book is not that. I'm actually not even finished with the series as of yet, but the Broken Binding was doing a special edition, and I think that they're beautiful, so I had to buy them. I'm currently on book 5 of 10, and this is, oh my gosh, Malazan, Book of the Fallen, or Malazan. I'm pretty sure the audiobook says Malazan though, so I'll probably go with that. So currently I only have books 1 through 3 as of filming this. Books 4 through 7, I believe, are in the mail. I think they just passed customs and are finally on their way to me within the States. Now, the reason why I bought these, despite not having finished this series, is because of all of the art that it's got. So first, I'll show you the dust jacket. It does go all the way around. Nothing terribly interesting on the back, but I appreciate that attention to detail. If you're a fan of the original covers, they do have those on the books themselves. This is something that actually makes me so excited, but I feel like I'm playing it cool right now because my brother's out there watching something and I don't want him to bully me yet about this whole channel thing. Even the end pages on this have just like the most incredible, stunning art I've ever seen. In this segment, I'm gonna say art like 50 bajillion times, so just get ready for that. And I'll briefly show you guys books 2, and 3. I love this one. This is a really good fight scene. I think the last straw for me when I was like, oh, I haven't even finished this series yet. I can't buy them yet. And then I saw this. It has art that goes across all of the edges of the pages. How fun is that? I'm really excited to get the next books to continue this, and whenever they do the last few, collect those as well. I'll definitely be spending way too much money on this series, but honestly, like, who can blame me? Look at how cool that is. Next up, we have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I have the first one in this collector's edition and the rest of the series in paperback, and on the back as well, little golden moment. And then on the book itself, it adds extra detail here and has the stag on the back, and I love this part. Now there's no art in this, which makes me a little bit sad, but there is a really cool detail on the pages themselves. They included these symbols and then this thing in the middle of the pages. I don't know what you call that, but I do love this, and I think this is what started off my obsession with buying special editions of books. Now this next one isn't a special edition, but it is a flex, and that is the original box set of ACOTAR by Sarah J. Maas as well. I don't absolutely love the art on these covers, but to be able to say that I've got the box set feels pretty cool. I got this series for Christmas one year and started the first chapter and didn't really love it, so I didn't pick it up again until a few years later when I had a friend convince me I had to do it. And I actually ended up not reading these particular copies. My friend had a copy that had sticky notes over some of the spicier scenes, and so I read that one because I was not really down with that at the time. But that does mean that this set is like pretty much brand new. There's a little bit of wear on the dust jacket of this one, but other than that, they are in phenomenal condition. I love these. There's nothing special about the books themselves. They're pretty plain, but I consider this a part of my special editions collection because it's like a collector's item. You can go on eBay, people are selling this box set for like $400. And they're probably not even in as good of condition as mine are. Now this next one I don't think is technically a special edition either, but they did A Song of Ice and Fire with new art, and I'm so obsessed with the art style of this one. I know that it's probably not something that's going to age well. Like, someone's going to see this book in 10 years and be like, wow, I know exactly when that was published. For now, I think it's beautiful. I think it's so fun. They did a great job on it. And I also do prefer paperbacks to hardcovers just because I feel like you can abuse them a little bit more. And they take up less space on my shelves so I can buy more books. A fun story with this box set is that I originally owned the leather-bound edition. I like to call it the scripture edition because it kind of had that soft fake leather cover on it, and then the pages itself were super thin. If I was reading the physical book and not just listening to the audiobook, it was those editions. We had a foreign exchange student about a decade ago, and she came back to visit us recently. We were talking about Game of Thrones because we're both huge nerds and we both love it, and she mentioned that set and how badly she wanted it, but how they don't sell it in Brazil anymore, which is where she's from. So I gifted her that copy. My family and I all signed the end pages in it, like little notes in each book for her. And then it gave me a great excuse to go and buy these ones because I like these ones so much. So just having that extra story for it really adds to the sentimentality of this box set for me. And while we're talking A Song of Ice and Fire, this was the birthday present I bought myself this year, or one of many birthday presents that I bought myself this year, but the one I was most excited about, the Folio Society edition of Fire and Blood. I mean, look at this. That's insane. That is so beautiful. The attention to detail is crazy. You might not really be able to see it, but there is art inside the box. There is a statue in the very back that has 3 figures on it. Why did I just forget his name? Aegon the Conqueror and his sisters in the back. And then on the side you can see a dragon flying, and on this side it's just rock. With a little dragon at the bottom. Once again, sorry that you can't see it, but go look up the Folio Society website. Maybe they've got it. Now the book itself, also stunning. It is cloth bound, which I really enjoy. The 3-headed dragon. Absolutely love it. They've got these amazing end pages in it. So the regular edition of Fire and Blood actually does have more art than this one does. But this one's special because the art's in color. Boom. Take that. There is a 2-page spread at the back of this book that I want to show you guys. I love it so much. I think it's so cool. The reason why I bought this for myself for my birthday present was because I got an email from Folio Society that was like, here's a present for you on your birthday, like get this much money off. And then the money off ended up being exactly what shipping is, so I pretty much just got free shipping for my birthday. But still, I love an excuse to buy a special book. So let's just keep it rolling with the favorites. This edition of The Hunger Games brings me so much joy. I already owned 3 copies of The Hunger Games when I bought this box set, but when I saw it, I knew that I had to have it. And I do think that this is a version of The Hunger Games that I would lend out to someone if they wanted to read it. It wasn't too expensive, and I just feel like spreading the joy. I'm trying to get a book out and I can't do it at all. The covers feature all of the birds and this foliage and flowers and whatnot, and then they also have sprayed edges, which is just, every time I see it, I'm happy. Such a low-hanging fruit for publishers. Do more sprayed edges. We love to see it. The color combinations that they do for these books are a little bit different, and I really appreciate that. And I don't know if this is interesting, but when I got it, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was actually at the end of it. It was in publishing order, and I said, I don't like that, and I moved it to the front. I do sincerely hope that they do this kind of vibe with Sunrise on the Reaping. I would love to add that, even if it doesn't fit into the box anymore. Oh my gosh, like, but we'll see. I feel like with these deluxe editions, you never really know. And if they don't, I'm still happy that I've got these ones. So as I said, I owned 3 copies of The Hunger Games when I bought that box set, and this was number 3. I had a paperback copy, I had a hardcover copy, and then I was at Costco one day and I saw this and I was like, oh, are we being serious? Are we so for real right now? I love that. This is a hardcover illustrated edition, that's why it's so large. And I feel like the art style in this one is surprisingly appropriate. It's maybe not something I would have picked right off the bat, but once I saw it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. Specifically, when they're in the Capitol, I feel like the art style really pops off and kind of shows how gauche it is. Oh my gosh, wait, okay. I know that I've looked through all of these before, but I just saw this again. Spoiler alert for kind of the end of the first book if you haven't read them already. They included the mutts as like their human selves. Like they are mostly animalistic, but the artist actually like cuts out the eyes specifically so that they pop off a lot more. Like, do you see the whites of those eyes? Those are crazy. But let me find you a picture of the Capitol. Yeah, no, this is definitely giving Nazi Germany for sure. Boom. Agree with me. You have to. I am starting to call it giving series the Hunger Games treatment when I allow myself to buy more than one edition of it because I like it so much. I'm definitely gonna give Red Rising the Hunger Games treatment. Like I said, with that new Curious King edition coming out, I have to have it. I also think that I would do that for A Song of Ice and Fire. The Folio Society edition of that series is so beautiful, but it's over $1,000 for the whole thing, so probably not gonna happen. Those are probably just the 3 series at this moment I would give the Hunger Games treatment. Okay, I know I said I was like a little bit less outwardly excited about this because my brother's in the next room, but I'm honestly really enjoying the chill vibe that I've got going on now. I feel like an art curator. I feel like someone at an auction being like, oh my gosh, look at these special editions. And so that's also really fun. But don't worry, you guys will definitely get some gremlin content from me, probably sooner than later. And I definitely saved the best for last on this video. When I added these editions to my library, it was probably the happiest day of my life. These are some of my most prized possessions of all time. Those are the leather-bound editions of Warbreaker and Elantris. No one's surprised. I love this book so much. As you guys know, Elantris is probably my favorite Brandon Sanderson book of all time. I do love the vibe of the dark blue and the silver. This actually like really informed the colors that I picked for my cosplay this year because I was like, yeah, now I associate that with Elantris and Serene and whatnot. Once again, beautiful art in this. And this one has a map. I love maps so much, especially for Elantris because it really shows you the way that the city is laid out to look like an Aeon. And here we go. This is the original cover. I love that they included this. Probably should have a cheaper edition of that book so I can lend it out to people and spread the good news of Elantris. Please go read it. It's so good. And love it more. Don't just read it, love it. When I originally read Warbreaker and Elantris, Warbreaker was my favorite. But then as I sat with the stories more, I realized that Elantris was a little more near and dear to my heart. But when I went to go buy them, I have to say I liked the treatment that they gave Warbreaker a little bit more than Elantris. I mean, I'm really a sucker for this purple and gold aesthetic that they've got going on, just like the Throne of Glass. beautiful, beautiful outside on this book. Last year I actually went to a panel about the leather bounds, and that was really, really fun because they had just started the process of doing the Eye of the World leather bound. I actually know way too much about this. Once again, art, phenomenal. Like, I'm gonna eat it up all day long, you guys. I'm never gonna see book art and go like, oh, okay, you know, like, that's fine. Especially not when it's this good. Here in the back, my favorite little detail of this, and I don't think you're gonna be able to see it on camera, but the sprayed edges, you're like, yeah, they're gold, that's so cool. But they're not just gold. They actually are purple and then gold on top of them. So you get this really cool, like, I don't know, almost like a ghost effect on it. But once again, I don't think you're ever going to be able to see that on camera. You'll just have to take my word for it. Oh my gosh, look at how much that's shining. You can like see my laptop in that. This one has art within the pages itself, which I feel like is such a good thing to include because Warbreaker is about the colors. So those are my special editions. And now I'm going to show you some that are not actually that special, but are very special to me. I do feel really bad for putting Madeline Miller in the honorable mentions 2 weeks in a row. I'm sorry. I love your books. Now, you're like, Allie, that's just the paperback version of Circe, and you're right. This isn't the special edition that I'm talking about with this, but I'm gonna put it up on the screen because I want people to remember this is a great book and you should read this. The actual special edition that I have is special edition, once again, her other Greek novel, Song of Achilles. I bedazzled it. Now, I know that this probably wasn't the most fitting story to bedazzle. My sister did Twilight, and like, that makes way more sense. Like, Twilight deserves to be bedazzled. But I picked Song of Achilles anyway for 2 reasons. First of all, I already own 2 copies of it. So if I really hated the bedazzle and I wanted to get rid of it, I totally could and I would still have it. The second reason is the fact that this cover is not mostly black. It was shocking to me when I went to go try to find one because I was going to buy a new book originally. It surprised me how many book covers are just like black with something on it. I didn't like that. And so by choosing this, I was able to do more fun colors, the blue and the gold, and then yeah, there's still black on it, but it's just the details. I was so proud of myself for how well this turned out, especially the title I was worried about. I thought that I was going to lose it in the bedazzling, but I didn't lose the title. Maybe a little bit, but the rest of it, it's good. The reason why these 2 are going to come together is because I got them signed at the same event last year, and they are Neon Ghost by Daniel Green. I got this off of the Kickstarter, so it actually already came signed. So this came signed when I bought it. Funny story, was standing in line, Daniel had to go for something. I think he had dinner planned or whatnot. And so he was going through and like signing things really, really fast. And in my friend Simon's book, he wrote, I love you, you're awesome, whatever. And I was like a little bit offended by that. I was like, Daniel, I'm the reason why he's here. I'm the one that subscribed to your Patreon because I'm petty like that. And so he went and signed the front cover. To Allie, thank you. Simon ain't that awesome. Love you more. Made me feel really special. Also, this is one of very few times in my life where someone spelled my name right and someone else's name wrong. So I liked that. And then the other book that I got signed at this event is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. I do wonder if some of you guys are going to be shocked that Dungeon Crawler Carl didn't make it onto my favorites list. I adore Dungeon Crawler Carl, but it is for entertainment purposes. This is what I read when I need something silly and goofy, and I don't necessarily have like a lot of attachment to it. I do have a lot of attachment to Matt Dinneman though. That man is a treasure and should be protected at all costs. So once again, this one's signed. My name's spelled right. Yay, love it. What was fun about this one was when he was signing it, he asked me like, where did you get this? And I said Target. And he was like, okay. So he flipped to the publisher page and was like, that is so cool. You have a book from the first run of this being traditionally published. Now, I would have literally never known that. So I'm really glad that he informed me. And now it gets to be a part of my not special editions. Also, and please don't cancel me for this, I do own all of these hardcover editions and have been informed that there is additional content at the end of it. And I have not yet read it yet. That is so funny. When I was getting ready to film this, I was looking at the cover and I was like, why is there a pineapple on there? I feel like I should remember why there's a pineapple and I don't. It's literally because the bonus chapter is called Backstage at the Pineapple Cabaret. I'm moving back to center stage now that I'm done showing off books. So that's the video. Thank you so much for allowing me to show off some of my special editions. I am so proud of these and they bring me so much joy, and so to be able to share that with people is awesome. It's why I'm doing this. Once again, if there's anything that you would like to see in the book space that you're not currently seeing, let me know. And I still don't know how to end these videos. So, bye. See you soon. Might be breathing through my mouth. I'm really sorry about that. Hardcovers with dust jackets make me angry. Under the willow. I probably should have like a cheaper copy of that book so that I can lend it out to people. No. Real time, one of them actually just popped off. Oh no, I probably should stop touching it. Okay. Don't even think I have the glue anymore to fix that. Crap. I don't know why I drank it like that. That was weird.